What's up, runners? Welcome to the Let's Run Fit podcast. I'm your host, B Lit. As a running coach, I realized how many runners really wanted to know how to make themselves better and they had no idea how to get there. So here I am to help out any athlete who wants to know more about the sport of running. From the lifelong runner to the brand new runner, there's always something to learn here on the Let's Run Fit podcast. So runner's mark, let's go. Hey runners, welcome back. I'm so happy that you're here and tuning in with me again today. I get told by people all the time that I'm training for XYZ, but I am not a runner. So today we're going to be talking about what actually makes you a runner. So let's sprint right in, shall we? So another one of those cool things about me is that along with being a teacher and a coach and a runner, I also work at my local running store. And that's where I have a lot of these conversations because people will come in and ask for shoes, but they'll make phrases like, I'm a jogger, not a runner, but I kind of want to do a 5K. Or I'm not a runner, I only do a mile at a time around my neighborhood, just kind of casual. Or I'm not a runner, I just walk a lot. Or I'm not a runner, I'm just trying to get back started, things like that. And it always saddens my heart when people say these things because, spoiler alert, I'm going to go ahead and tell you the whole point of today's podcast in the first few seconds. If you put more than 2 steps together on purpose and you're not being chased by a bear or a murderer, you are a runner. The kind of example that I use all the time is Usain Bolt. He runs for at most like 8 seconds. But people say he's a runner. Like he just goes out, runs 8 seconds, and his race is done. But no one ever questions if he's a runner. Because it's not about the time that you run. It's about the fact that you're running. It doesn't matter if you just run for 8 seconds and then walk. It doesn't matter if you're running 15 miles per hour, which I don't even know if that's his miles per hour, but it's probably way up there. Or if you're running 3 miles per hour. As long as you're moving with purpose, you are a runner. So please never discount your value within this sport just because you're just starting out or you're just naturally a slow runner or you don't want to go and run for performance, but you just want to run. There is no box that has to be checked off to be classified as a runner. You just have to go out there and do it. Another good example that I use is Jeff Galloway. He's one of the best marathoners we've had in this world and in this country. He was an Olympian and he does run, walk, run. It's actually the principle behind his programs and coaching that he explains to people all over the world. So if you think that just because you walk, it means you're not a runner, then you're saying that this former Olympian is also not a runner because he walks. It's what he does. Running is just simply about putting one foot in front of the other. Free, simple movement, just getting our bodies to do something and experience something that our bodies were made for evolutionarily. Like we were built to move. And when you run, you get to do that. Of the athletes I coach right now, I do have some that I know will not go under a sub 10-minute mile in their life just because it's not their goals. But I also have runners who are already running sub 5-minute miles and already dropping lower and lower each time they race. Each mile is the same distance. They race it the same way, one step at a time. So please do not compare yourself to somebody else just because their pace is faster than you or they run a longer distance than you or they train more days a week than you. None of that matters. We have enough people in this world telling everyone that they're not worthy of this or that. So why are we going to add to this noise? It's so hard to live in a world that you're constantly being told all this negative nonsense to. So why are you going to tell yourself the same thing? And more than that, I don't let people talk to my friends that way. And that includes you. So don't talk to my friends that way. Be nice to my friend. They deserve better than the negative words you're saying to them. We've got to learn that running is just an expression that makes us happy. And if we do it, that's what we're doing. We're getting out there and we're running and we're having a good time. And that means that we are a runner. So now that we've talked about and established the fact that you are in fact a runner and you will be a runner as long as you just keep getting out there, let's talk about the different types of running that you can do. So some people say jogging is when you're running slow. That just means you're running at a slower pace. There's nothing wrong with that. When I do my easy runs, where I'm doing those slow, long runs, I'm running at a 13-minute pace. And I have zero shame on that. My best runner on my team right now, she's a female and she runs her easy runs at about a 12 to 13-minute pace. But she's able to go out and run a 5:30 mile, actually less than that now, because your pace doesn't define you. So you can go and be a runner who does lots of easy runs and just goes out there and enjoys themselves. Like, they're not trying to get themselves out of breath and be crazy. They're just going out to talk to people, enjoy, look around at the scenery. Guess what? People who run easy, they are runners. So another type of running that you can do would be someone who wants a little bit more of running for performance. So these are going to be the people that still do those slow, easy runs. And don't worry, we'll get into what easy runs are in another episode. But they do these slow, easy runs, but they also add in these things like speed work. Speed work is going to be where you're running at different paces at different point in times to get that aerobic and anaerobic benefit. Don't worry, we'll get into that too. So if you're trying to run for performance, your goal is to improve your running speed, normally for races. Some people just want to get faster on their own and they just time trial themselves and they are happy as clams. And guess what? They're runners. Just because you don't race doesn't mean you're not a runner. But then also there are the people who do race and they want a PR. Because remember, running, as much as we love to hit that podium and get that medal and say, I got first in my age group, or I got first overall, or whatever it is, the main thing that our goal is when we are running is to beat ourselves. And that is what is amazing about running, is that your only true competition is yourself. Your goal is to PR. Your goal, if you're a performance runner, is to just get a little bit faster and a little bit faster. And that means that you get what you put into it. And that is so amazing for performance running, which is one of the reasons that is one of my favorite things to coach, because you have these little micro goals. Like, this time we're going to get a second faster. This time we're going to get another second faster. And then you just keep adding that up. And next thing you know, you're a minute and a half faster on your mile. But this all came from those speed work runs where you were going on that faster pace to change your body, and your body is adapting. And these people are runners. I went into already today that you can be just a recreational runner who enjoys it, or you could be a runner who's running for performance. Both ways, you are a runner. So now I want to get into what if you're the person who is sitting on your couch and not running, and you have no clue where to start? The start is just put on a pair of shoes. Preferably some type of a running shoe. I'd rather you not run in flip-flops. It's possible, a little dangerous. Not the best, but, put on a pair of shoes. Step out your front door. Go take a walk around your neighborhood. If you're feeling froggy, just jog from one stop sign to the next. And then the next time you go, make it to 2. Make it 3 houses and you get to take a walk break. You can go, I'm just going to run this one little portion of my street, turn around and come home. You don't have to be out there for this huge amount of time. If you're someone who's just getting started, then just get started. For example, my sister right now, she has 3 kids. God bless her. And her husband's a fireman, so she's having to be at home a lot and just handling these kids. And again, bless her, because I don't know how she does it. The way she's getting her fitness routine in, when those kids get to earn their 1 hour of tablet time in quotations, aka ABC Mouse, so they think they're being rewarded, but we're tricking them into going to school, she just goes and walks. And they sit outside on the tablet, having the time of their life because, I'm being rewarded with video games when in fact I'm learning my consonant sounds. And she just walks in a small circle. And she talks to me about it, and she talks about, sometimes it's so boring because I'm just walking in a circle because I can't go but so far because I have to be able to keep an eye on my kids. But she's out there. She put on her shoes, and she's out there. And every once in a while, she jogs for a couple steps. And right now, she's not at a point where she can jog for more than a couple steps, but she is jogging more steps than the person who's still sitting inside saying, I can't do this, I'm not a runner. My sister is a runner just as much as everyone else. And she'll probably be super mad at me for saying that, because she's one of the ones who believes that she's not athletic or an athlete in any way. But the fact that she takes the time to set up a situation where her kids are safe, loved, and occupied, but that she can go spend 10 minutes outside walking and doing what she can means she is just as much of an athlete as the rest of us. You just have to start. That's where we all are. You just have to start. If you don't want to just start by going outside and you're nervous, or you're very type A like me and you're like, I need a plan. I have to have step by step. This is what I do first. This is what I do second. Well, still lace up those shoes. Go find a local running store. Go find a local running club. If you search on Facebook, you can look for running clubs near wherever you live, and you can find somebody. There is somebody somewhere near you that is running and would love to have you. Because the beautiful thing about this running community that I love is we are the most open and supportive group of people I have ever met. I can tell you that in my time running, the only negative people I encounter are people who don't run. I have never been to a race. I have never been to a training group. I've never been to a run store where I've ever felt like someone was being judgy or rude or unwelcoming to anybody. We are a group in a community that celebrate our bodies and what we are doing outside and what our bodies were made to do. And we're welcoming everyone with open arms. So if you are just now getting started with your run journey, my arms are open and I am welcoming you in, giving you the biggest hug and congratulations and telling you I am so proud of you and what you are doing. If you have been running for a couple years or your whole life, I am welcoming you with open arms and telling you how proud I am of you for what you are doing. Because like I mentioned in a previous episode, even if you are the slowest person and you walk more than you run, you are still lapping 7.8 billion people every single time you walk out that door. Because I guarantee you, the majority of people are making excuses while you are making progress. So I just want to tell you all, I am so proud and I can't wait to run with you one day. Thanks so much, runners, for spending time with me and listening to this episode. If you like what you heard, please hit that subscribe button and leave me a review. I always love to hear from my listeners. And if you want more Let's Run Fit in your life, find me on Instagram at Let's Run Fit with BeLit. Until next time, runners. The information in this podcast is not intended to be a substitute for medical or professional advice. Please always consult a medical professional if you're seeking medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. The Let's Run Fit podcast is not liable for risk or issues associated with using or acting upon the information in this podcast.